Installing my new Ironman bumper on this. It's a 99 LX470. So just like a Land Cruiser 100 series. Anyway, this is the mounting bracket with the winch support. Just ran into some trouble. I noticed that on some other front bumpers, they have you actually remove this bracket here. So, but this one does not. They've made this deep enough right here so that it can slide right over this guy. And then there's this spacer here. And then this sets right up against the frame. But there's a little gap here. If you notice, there's a little gap there. So it doesn't fill it in. So I made these aluminum spacers here. It's just shy of 1/4 of an inch. And it actually fits nicely in the bed of this bracket. So I'm going to put that in place, and we'll see how we go. Okay, so here is a shot of the bumper, this bracket in place with the spacer that they provide installed, or not installed, but in place. And if you notice, if I pull it down, you can see there's a big gap. This is in there fairly square, and that is the idea behind installing this. It's just made out of aluminum plate. Alright, so I'll show you that installed. Alright, so I got that spacer in here. I don't know if you can see that very well. Anyway, that spacer's in here, and nothing is tightened down on the bracket, but man, it won't go anywhere. I mean, the bolts are just for show at this point. It's totally a tight fit. So I'm pleased with that. Alright, so I got the bracket on here. And the winch plate, and I have the winch mounted. So I chose this winch, 10,000 pound Smitty built. Got it from 4-Wheel Parts, and they had a sale. It's also a synthetic lead. It's waterproof, has a Wi-Fi Bluetooth remote. One thing I did want to point out is that it came with the screws here and down here, and the same on the other side. They were all like that black, don't recall what it's called. Anyway, I replaced all of those guys with stainless steel, especially since we're calling this a waterproof winch. And the bolts were a little bit too long, so I had to get a couple of extra washers for below to make it fit properly. Alright, so here we are. If you notice here, I've got to pull the bumper out a little ways in order to clear the grill, which is unique to the LX470. So anyway, if you look here, it's missing right now, but it was in contact. It's missing now because I've taken the brackets off that go right here and then up again here. And what I'm doing here is I'm using a rat tail file to make more of an oval hole here. So I'll compare the two side by side. So if you can see that, what that does is that moves the bracket further back, which draws the grill further away from the bumper. So I'll have a picture for you to show how that looks. Okay, so I've got the brackets back in place. So the filing actually moved that bracket slightly backward. This is for both brackets, and now you can see that it clears, but not by much. So bumper is more or less in place. I'm going to put the fair lead on, and I'll be back. Alright, so the bumper now is on in place. I think it looks pretty decent. I was a little concerned by some of the photos I saw online that the bumper was too straight across the front. and really stuck off of the front of the car, but it looks like they did make an effort to swing that back. So this is the final segment of this video, installing the Ironman Commercial Deluxe bumper on the LX470. I wanted to show you the control box for the winch. I mounted it down here just inside the grill. It has Wi-Fi, or not Wi-Fi, but Bluetooth, so there's a switch right here and then cord here. This is where you can plug it in if the battery dies or Bluetooth's not working. But I made a couple of aluminum brackets. You can see here. So I mounted it to the body here, and then the other is in the position of the radiator mount support down there. So anyway, that's the final. The lights right here, waiting to connect them. They blink really fast because they're LED. So I'm looking for, I'm gonna get a load resistor to install that. So you can see the existing light down there. Anyway, so that's the bumper on the LX470. Sticks out a little ways. That's how it looks.